Since you've mentioned Mahabharata, Ramayana and all the scriptures, and also we've been speaking about
If I can correct that.
Please.
Would you like a man who will walk all the way to Sri Lanka to find you, or find a practical solution locally? The man walked all the way, fought a battle, burned down a city to get back his wife, not a small thing.
But then he again gave her an Agni Pariksha, he didn't trust his wife.
It takes a lot of effort and resources to make such videos, so please support us by watching the video till the end and share it with as many people as you can. Ram's life was an utter failure. He chose to go to the jungle despite having the support of his kingdom. He couldn't protect his wife from being kidnapped. These are questions that people have. Let's hear what Sadhguru has to say about Ram.
Western way of writing history is like this. This king came, he killed so many people, he did this, he did that, he died. And next one came, he did this, he did that, he died. What are you going to do with this? I'm saying 1000 years ago, somebody lived or died, what does it matter to you? But when you read Ramayana, Mahabharata, these are live stories so that you can relate it to you even today. Maybe it happened 5000 years ago, but we can still correct our lives by looking at what happened to them. So, historical documents written in a very organic way need not be mistaken for scriptures. There is nothing scriptural about Mahabharata or Ramayana, they're just stories. History which is written in a way that it'll always be relevant for people's lives.
Exactly, that is my point. Mahabharata, Ramayana, they are very, very relevant to our society. And when you look at Ramayana, the way Sita was treated, these examples of women being treated by men the way they want to treat them, they have certainly left an imprint in the minds of Indian men. There's no doubt about that. Since you said these are the learning that we take from the past, and we have dramatized them, put them in a very good way, and our grandfathers recite these poems, and these are day-to-day household stories. How do we expect the current Indian man to not treat his wife like Sita or not treat his wife like Draupadi?
Let me ask the ladies, would they like to be treated like Sita? Let me put it in the right perspective. Suppose you were living in Uttar Pradesh, today, 5000 years ago, and a man came from Sri Lanka and kidnapped you. Would you like a man who will walk all the way to Sri Lanka to find you, or find a practical solution locally, because anyway he was king?
So, does this answer given by Sadhguru convince you? Well, I still have my doubts. So you see, Ram doubted Sita's character and made her go through a tough test just because a commoner said something. He encouraged making his people happy over supporting his innocent wife. And he even sent his pregnant wife to the judge later on. So why worship such a man?
But then he again gave her an Agni Pariksha, he didn't trust his wife.
Agni Pariksha did not mean somebody has to enter the fire. Meant she was put through some test, of course, because you're the king. Everybody is looking at you as an ideal. How you behave, what you do is very important because the entire nation's life depends on you. Today, our biggest problem is this in the country. This is the Dhritarashtra syndrome from then to now, okay? So, he is setting an example in those days. It doesn't matter, she's pregnant, but in spite of that, he sends her to the jungle because otherwise there's disruption in the country. You seeing this as a negative thing? I think we need such prime ministers and leaders in this country. No matter what, for the well-being of the nation, they will do what is needed.
Ram displayed the qualities of a great leader. Many centuries have passed, yet every country aspires for a Ram Rajya. Today, when we discuss Ram, we don't limit him to just Hinduism, we examine his leadership qualities, which is why every nation seeks to emulate Ram Rajya, because he was a phenomenal leader. For example, he established rules and order of his era, made tough personal choices, and encountered adversities without losing his inner calm and balance. Despite being born a prince and recently married, he was sent to Vanvas, that is life in forest, for over 14 years. His wife was kidnapped, his brother almost killed in a fight with Ravan, and he nearly killed his sons. And despite all this, he conducted himself with grace, dignity, and balance. That's why this great leader is revered as divine and people worship him as God. So let's not associate Ram with any particular religion. So in my understanding, Ram is one of the yogis of the highest order, because in the yogic culture, you don't wait for divinity to descend upon you. You awaken that divine possibility within yourself. And anyone, regardless of a faith, can do that. Pranam.
To get free tips on food, health, Ayurveda, lifestyle, and yoga by Sadhguru, please join our WhatsApp and Telegram link below.